everyone. I am Atul Kumar Singh, working as Assistant Professor in AKGEC Engineering College. Today, in this lecture, we will discuss the topic named Pointer from Programming for Problem Solving. The code of the subject is BCS 101. So let's start with the introduction to a pointer. So a pointer is nothing. It is a type of variable. It is a type of variable that stores the address of another variable. So when we declare a pointer, it will store the address of another variable. It does not store the value of that variable, it stores the address of the variable. A pointer in C is used to allocate memory dynamically at runtime. It means it provides the memory to a program at runtime, through the pointer we can use the different memory location at runtime. The pointer variable might belonging to any of the data type such as int, float, character and double. It can be of any type like integer, float, character and double. So these some properties of a pointers are: first, a pointer is a derived data type in C. So basically it is not a primitive data type, it is derived by some primitive data type. It means suppose we are using a variable int 8. While we declare a variable, we have to provide the data type of that variable. Now if we declare a pointer int star pointer p, it will store the address of another variable. So it will store the address of variable integer type, and the type of the pointer is defined by the value stored at that particular location. So it is a derived data type, not a primitive data type. Second, it contains memory addresses as their values. It does not contain normal value like real values, float values, integer value. It contains only the memory address as their value. Suppose when we declare a variable a, we are declaring a variable a. Now when the compiler compiles that program in which a variable a is declared, it assigns a memory to that variable a. The reference of the memory will be a. It will store any value based on the data type we are using, either integer, character or float. But when we declare a pointer, it will store the address of the another variable, and the data type of that value will be defined the value at the address which contained by the pointer. So since these memory addresses are the locations in the computer memory where program instructions and data are stored, pointers can be used to access and manipulate data stored in the memory because it contains the address of another pointer. So we can directly manipulate or perform different operations at these locations. Now, what are the benefits to a programmer by using pointer? First is pointers are more efficient in handling arrays. So it means that when we use a pointer, it will help an array to give in indexing. It make accessing of the memory easy while we are using array. We can easily make data manipulation at different location on array, and it will help to reduce the bound checking issue in the array. Now, pointer allows C to support dynamic memory management. It means there are two types of memory management. First one is static. Second one is dynamic. So when a program compiled, the memory assigned to different variable is called static memory allocation. But while we use pointer, it will allow dynamic memory allocation. It means we can assign different memories to different variables at runtime. With the help of dynamic memory allocation, a pointer can provide an efficient tool for manipulating dynamic data structures like linked list, queues, stacks, and trees. So while we want to increase or we want to use different memory location at runtime, or we want to use different data structure like linked list, queues, stacks, and trees, we will use pointers. It helps to manage the memory dynamically. Pointer reduce length and complexity of programs, means we can remove the need of complex indexing, or it allows straightforward code expression. So basically with the help of pointer we can reduce the length and complexity of a program. These are the some benefits to a programmer by using pointers. Now pointer basic. So pointer, whenever we declare a variable, a memory address allocated at compile time to that particular variable. The name of the variable is a reference to that memory address. Suppose we have a memory like this. Okay, when we declare a variable, suppose we are declaring integer a. So one portion of that memory will be allocated to that particular variable, and the name of that particular address will be a. So this is the reference to the memory address. Now a pointer variable contains a representation of an address of another variable. It means when we declare a pointer, it will store the address of the another variable. Suppose we are declaring a pointer p, so it will store the address of a, while that particular a will contain some value. It can be either integer type, it can be either float type, any type. So for example, suppose we have variable integer v. It means when we declare a variable or initialize a variable, a memory block like this allocated to that variable v, and the value of that will be 101. So, and we are declaring a pointer variable that is p. So again we are creating a memory address name, reference name with p. It will store the address of v. This is address operator. We will discuss next. Address of v. So basically this location contains the address of v. So here we are using two variables v and p. The address will be reference v and reference p. It can be some values, either integer type. Then abstract representation means v contain the value that is 101. So it contains 101, and the p contain the address of v. So it will point to that particular memory block that is v. Concrete representation, it means how much byte it will take to store the value. So for we are declaring here integer, so it means it contains 4 bytes for containing the value 101, because it contains the address of an integer type variable. So basically this pointer also, data type of that pointer will be integer. So it also use 4 bytes for memory address of v. So these are the basic of pointers. Now for example, suppose we are declaring x is equal to 547. X is a integer type variable. Here we are using another variable that is of pointer type, because it will contain the address of x. So the type of the data type of the pointer will be also integer. Now, so x, we are creating x is equal to 547. In the memory, suppose we are assigning the address 4000. This block of memory will be created. The address of that block will be 1000. The value contained by that block is 547. Now we are declaring a pointer p, which will point the address of that particular variable x. So it contains the address of the x, that is 4000. Now it is also part of the memory. It is also a variable. So it means it also have some memory address. So now the address of the p pointer will be 403. We are assuming that address. So address of x will be stored at pointer ptr, where the address of the pointer will be 4036. So according to above figure, by the help of pointer variable, we stored the address of variable x in address 4036. This is the general example for a variable. Next is how to declare a variable, because pointer are also variable contain addresses that belong to a separate data type. So they must be declared as pointers before we use them. So everything in the C program, if we want to use, first we have to declare, after that we have to initialize that. So first we have to declare the pointer. So the declaration syntax of that will be type, the data type belongs to the value at the address contained by the pointer and the name of the pointer. This is the pointer symbol. So we can declare a pointer like this: integer type pointer P, float type pointer Q, character type pointer R. It means the pointer P contain the address. In this address the value will be integer type. Again, the pointer Q contain the address of some variable and the value of that variable will be float. Again, the R contain the address of a character type variable. So this is the basic declaration. First we have to write down the data type name, then we have to give the asterisk. After that we will give the pointer name. So this is the declaration. After declaration, we have to initialize a pointer. Every variable first we have to declare, after that we have to initialize, because a pointer contains the address of another variable. So in the initialization we have to give the address of another variable. So pointer initialization is the process of assigning address of a variable to a pointer variable. So pointer variable contains address of variable of same data type. It means whatever the value contained by a variable and the address of that variable will assign to the pointer. The pointer contains the type of the pointer will be the type of the value contained by that address. So in C, address operator is used to determine the address of a variable. It returns the address of the variable. So for example, suppose we are having int a is equal to 10. It means a block of memory will be created of integer type. The name of that block will be a and the value stored by that variable will be n. Now we are creating a pointer type variable which will point to a integer type variable. So here again we are creating a block of memory. The reference to that block of memory will be pointer. It will point the address of a. It basically consists the address of a. So basically it means it will point to the variable a, because the variable a consists the value integer type. It means the pointer will also be a integer type. So we can write pointer is equal to address of a. If we want to declare or initialize or declaration at the same time, we can use this syntax: integer, then asterisk, then variable pointer name, then address of a variable. So we can done initialization as well as declaration together. Now, what do you mean by a address operator? Whenever we put address symbol and operator against any variable name, against any array index, against any pointer, so it will generate the address of that variable. So address of operator is used to generate the address of an variable. So whenever we put in front of any variable in C, the result of the operation is the location in memory of the variable. So syntax will be AND operator, then the variable reference or variable name. So suppose we have int v, integer type variable v, pointer type variable of integer type, and an array index, that is integer array of 5. So when we put AND operator against v, it will generate the memory location of integer variable v. Whenever we put AND operator against index of an array, it will generate the memory location of array element 2 in an array. Whenever we put AND operator against any pointer, it will generate the address of the pointer variable p. So with the help of AND operator, we can generate the address of different variables or arrays. Now, indirection operator. Suppose we are declaring a variable int a is equal to 5, declaring as well as initialization. Now I am declaring a pointer of integer type p. This p contains the address of A. So if we want to retrieve the value at address, or we can say we want to retrieve the value of a pointer, then we have to use indirection operator. So because a pointer variable contains a memory address, to refer to the contents of the variable that the pointer points to, we use indirection operator. So for retrieving the value through a pointer, because pointer consists the address of another variable and we want to retrieve the value at that particular address, we will use indirection operator represented by asterisk then pointer variable. Okay, for example, suppose we are declaring a variable v is equal to 101. It means a memory location, that is v, consists the value 101. Again, we are creating a pointer variable. A memory reference to that variable will be p, and it consists the address of variable v. Now, if we want to retrieve that value 101 with the help of pointer, in that case we have to put indirection operator against the pointer variable name. So for that we are using printf %d, because the type of pointer is integer here, asterisk p. It will retrieve, or it will show the value 101 at console. Because p consists the address and indirection operator is used to retrieve the value from the address, while we are putting asterisk p, it means p consists asterisk v and v, and we are putting asterisk here. It means the value at address v. Value at address v. Now it will give the answer 101. So with the help of indirection operator, we can retrieve the value through pointer, and with the help of address operator, we will find the value of any address of any variable. For an example program, suppose we are declaring integer pointer and q. Now q is assigned 50. Then we are assigning the address of q to a pointer p, ptr. Now we want, here we are put asterisk against a pointer type variable. It means we are using asterisk. Pointer consists the address of q. So we want to retrieve the value of address at q. So address at q, the value will be 50. So the answer will be 50. So with the help of AND operator, we are initializing the pointer. With the help of indirection operator, we will retrieve the value through a pointer. Now here we are using a pointer. We are seeing a pointer example. In this particular example, we are declaring a variable a. So suppose we are declaring a variable a consists value 3. Then again we are declaring a variable b, that is b. That is a pointer. Sorry. That is value is not initialized at particular time. Now we are declaring 3 integer type pointers p, q and r. The first one is p, second one is q, and third one is r. So we are creating 3 pointer type variable. In p, it consists the address of a. In q, it consists p, and p consists the address of a. It means it also consists the address of a, and r consists the address of b. Address of g. So basically p point a, this q also point a, and this r point b. Now first enter values of b. So we are taking the value from the user. Suppose we are taking the value 5. So value b of will be 5. Now first output will be printed, that is a and b. So value of a will be 3 and value of b will be 5. So first output will be your 3 comma 5. Now, in the second output, we are printing three values. All the three values of integer type. Here we are printing asterisk p, asterisk q, and asterisk r. It means we are printing the value of p, the value of q, and value of r. So first we will print asterisk p. Asterisk p means p consists the address of a. So basically we are putting asterisk here. It means we are going to print the value at address a. The value at address a will be 3. Then asterisk q. Again q consists the address of a. So while we putting asterisk, it means the value at a. Again the value at a will be 3. After that asterisk r. So basically r consists the address of b and the value at b is 5. So the third output will be 5. Okay. Now q is equal to asterisk b. It means now we are changing the q variable consists the address of b. So this consists the address of b and this consists the address of a and r consists the address of b. Now if p is equal to q, p consists the address of a and q consists the address of b. Both are not equivalent. So this condition becomes false. Now we will move. If q is equal to r, q is equal to r means q consists address of b is equal to r consists address of b. So both is equivalent. So next output will be 2. We have to print 2. Now asterisk p and asterisk q. P consists address of a, q consists address of b. The value at a is 3 and value at b is equal to 5. So it means 3 equal to 5. Basically it is false. So 3 will not be printed. After that asterisk q. Asterisk q means asterisk at address b is equal to asterisk at address b, because q consists the address of b and r also consists the address of b. So basically it will generate 5 equal to 5. It true, it means 4 will be printed. Asterisk p equal to asterisk r. So asterisk p consists the address of a, r consists the address of b. Address of the value at address of a is 3 and value at address of b is equal to 5. So 3 is not equal to 5. 3 is not equal to 5. It means 5 will not be printed. So this is the output of that particular program. And first we will print 3, 5. After that 3, 5, then 2 and 4. Now chain of pointer. It means a pointer can also contain the address of another pointer. Another pointer contains the address of another pointer. By this means we can create a chain of pointers. So basically it is possible to make a pointer to point to another pointer, thus creating a chain of pointers. So first p1 consists the address of variable, then p2 consists the address of a pointer. This is called double pointer. Whenever a pointer consists the address of another pointer, it is called double pointer. So we can access the target value indirectly pointed to by a pointer to a pointer by applying the indirection operator twice. So basically if we want to retrieve the value of a double pointer, we have to apply indirection operator twice. For example, here we are using integer variable x, a single pointer that is p1, a double pointer p2. So basically p2 consists the address of another pointer. So x is equal to 100. P1, it consists the address of x variable. Then P2 is consists the address of pointer P1. So what is the output of that particular statement? Printf and %d pointer P2. So basically P2 consists the address of P1 while P1 consists the address of x. So when we put a single indirection at against P1, it means it will retrieve the value at P1. The value at P1 is the value at address X, that is 100. That is 100. Okay. Now we are putting two indirect operator. It means indirection P2. So first, what does this mean of indirection P2? It means it will contain the value at P1. The value at P1 is the address of X. Now we are putting here and P1. It means it will contain the value at X. So basically the output of that line will be 100. It will point to the value at double pointer. So if we use triple pointer, then we have to put three indirection operator to retrieve the value. By this means we can create a chain of a pointer. Now passing pointer to a functions. So pointers are often passed to a function as argument. As we know that there are two types of argument, formal argument and actual argument. So we can pass a pointer to a function as an actual argument. So it allows data item within the calling program to be accessed by the function, altered, and then returned to the calling program in altered form. It means whatever changes we have done at particular location, these changes are implemented or show in that calling function. So this is called call by reference, call by address, or location. So whatever changes we have done, it will show at the output. Normally arguments are passed to a function by value. Basically we are passing the values of a variable through the function. The data items are copied to that function. You will understand by an example. Suppose changes are not reflected in the calling program. While we use pointer as an argument, changes are reflected at the calling program. While we are using value at in the argument, then changes are not reflected in the calling program. For example, passing argument by value. So suppose we have a problem. In this we have two variables a and b. A is equal to 5, b is equal to 20. Now we are calling the function swap. So basically in swap we are passing 5, 20. Now we have to print a and b. The value at that printing statement will be 5, 20. Okay. Now the what function is called? Compiler move to that, while x is equal to will be 5 or y is equal to 20. Now we are interchanging value. It means x will become 20 and y is equal to 5. Now when this function return the control to main function, when we print a and b, the value is still the same because we are passing the copy of the data to that particular function. It means when we pass the copies of the data, the changes are not reflected in the calling program. Here the calling program is main and the value is still 5, 20. X and y swaps, but a and b do not. So the output will be a is equal to 5 and b is equal to 20. Now example, passing arguments by reference. So here we are passing the address of a and b. Suppose a and b, these are two variables. The value of a is 5, value of b is 20. Now we are passing, suppose address of a is 4000 and 4006. Now we are passing the address of a and b. Here the pointer variable will receive the value of a and b. Now we are swapping. It means we are performing the changes at locations. After performing the swapping, the value will be changed. Now a will become 20 and b will become 5. So when the output will be a is 20 and b is equal to 5, it means when we pass a reference or address through a program as an argument, we will alter the value and the return to the calling program in altered form. So This is call by reference and call by value. Okay. So these are the references, 3 references. Thank you.